wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to die.
Oh, I missed the part with the dove. What was I thinking? I should have stuck it out through the dove. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. Today, Time to Die. We lost the great Rutger Hauer. The great Rutger Hauer. It's one of my favorite scenes in all of cinematic history. Time to die. Anyways, hey everybody, hope everyone is doing all right. Welcome to Cross Examinations. Hey Cubs to Dawn, Mike McCollum. Curious to A, Magic Carpet Ride, Dominic Russo, Perkendo, Mark C, Metalhead, Chuck, and everyone else. Oh, you thought it was just because? No. Nope. Nope, he is gone. God, that is such a great scene. You realize that with your title, you were giving SHWs hope? SJWs? J's right next to the H. I'm going to assume you meant SJWs. It is sad. And I know nothing about the guy other than his acting. Which, isn't that refreshing? To appreciate an artist for his art. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind when people talk about what they believe and stuff like that, but it is interesting. Anyways, usually better that way. I've seen things you can't imagine. Bitcoin's flowing out of Mike's wallet. Stop that. You stop that right now, would you? I kind of want to watch that scene again. Who wants to watch that scene again? You could watch it all the way until the dove flies off. Oh my goodness, somebody is calling on my phone in the other room. He deserved an even bigger career. Yeah, he did. Trying to think. He was in I remember him being in Blind Fury, which I liked. It was sort of a Zatoichi in America, but it's just one of those movies that was like on and off the radar, you know. Was just finally going to watch 2049 this week. Oh, Bitcoin is down to 9,600 again. It was down at 9,600 yesterday, wasn't it? Time to buy if you want to make a few bucks on the bounce. I didn't know he did Dutch films. I'll have to check that out sometime. Great actor. I'll have to look up his filmography and watch something this weekend. Let's do that. Let's look up Rutger Hauer on IMDb. Da da da. Time to die. Oh, here's another scene. Oh, that's Oh,
I'm Rachel.
Deckard.
You guys want to see it?
Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
No. I need the old Blade Runner. This is a bad one.
If only you could see what I have seen, Miles.
More human than human is our motto.
What if I go north? Could you come after me?
How he wants, the intimidating one.
Time to die.
What the heck? Alright, that was messed up.
You bet you won't live!
Alright, we don't need that. Hobo with a halo. Rutger Hauer. Filmography known for Blade Runner. 1982. Hobo with a Shotgun. Batman Begins. Played Earl. And Sin City played Cardinal Rourke. Filmography, however, is a long, very long, and very active filmography. Wow. He started in the 1969 TV series called Flores, which I've never heard of. I guess that's probably from... Where is he from? Sweden? Something like that. Show his last Blade Runner scene. Again? I kind of want to. Alright, I'm going to play it again. Just because there's more people in here now. And because I love this scene. Let's see. Christian headlines. Bing! Is that the right one? Why is it on the wrong... Yeah, it should be on the Time to Die. Okay, ready? You have to be quiet. It's a quiet scene.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to die.
So awesome. Copyright strike? No, but I don't monetize these videos anyways, so I don't care if if it gets demonetized. Really don't. I don't monetize any of the cross-examinations videos. I don't know if you guys know that. I think I've mentioned it a couple hundred times. I think that line was improvised. Always a great scene. It's such incredible acting. It's incredible. Yeah, he was what, 75, I think? Too soon, Rutger. Pathfinders, Turkish Delight, Waldreich, Rippelstiegel. What the heck? Hard to remember. The Wilby Conspiracy, Katie Tipple, Das Amulett des Todes, The Year of the Cancer, Cyrano de Bergerac TV movie. This was 1975. I can't read all of these because seriously, it would be like reading the Bible. He's done so much stuff, and I loved his acting. I mean, that scene right there. That is, you can't fake that. He was living that moment. It was just so good, man. He should have been. Yeah, he should have been like Anthony Hopkins level in fame and stuff. And a lot of people, you say Rutger Hauer, they're probably not even know who you're talking about. I think he needed a better agent. I blame his agent. Because he was great. Rutger Hauer is the Bible confirmed. That is not accurate. Hey guys, what's up, Lightning Fan? Hey, hit that like, hit that share. I will do likewise. Unbelievable. Caesar Borja. Hello. I don't know you. Alright. I will sometimes answer the phone, like I don't speak English very well. Hello, oh no, sorry, what? I don't understand you, sorry. My mom does that. She's the worst. So I will emulate her. Alright. Time to die. Perkindo says, the ambiguous ending of the theatrical release really struck a chord with my 13-year-old self. That's my favorite. The voiceover theatrical release is my favorite version of Blade Runner. He did too many B movies. Do you think that was him or his agent? Could his agent just not locked out? Like when they were doing Silence of the Lambs, did they like go to Rutger Hauer first because he would have been perfect in that role? I mean, Anthony Hopkins was also perfect in that role, but can you imagine Rutger Hauer would have been, if he had a role like that, roles like that offered to him, everybody and their mother would have known who Rutger Hauer was. That's racist, Mike, says Brent Bryan. That's okay. Pour one out for the Hauer. Well, not in my office, but I'll drink one to him. Rutger, rest in peace, brother. I pray that you are in the arms of our Lord, although I know nothing about the decisions you made in your life that would or would not get you there. But I do pray it. Christopher Lee, Rutger as Hannibal would have been epic. Did you know that Lestat, the vampire Lestat, was modeled in Anne Rice's head when she was writing it after Rutger Hauer? She had always intended Rutger Hauer to play Lestat. If it had been the time, if it had been made in the time, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Oh, Rutger came up with the tears in the rain line. Gosh, and that involuntary, like, God, that whole scene just gets me every single time I watch it. I just love it. Hauer as Lestat would have been great. Good afternoon, Migs. What is up? Hello. So, oh my goodness. I'm going to just turn this ringer off during the show. Just remember to turn it back on when I'm done, okay? Because I always forget and then we miss a bunch of stuff. Rutger actor was such an underused actor in Hollywood. Exactly. I guess he was well used in Scandinavia. I mean, his IMDb is like pages and pages and pages long. He's got 4 things for 2019, 5 movies 2018, 5 movies 2017, 4 movies 2016, 6 movies 2000. Yeah, he was a busy guy. Oh, he was in The Last Kingdom. Wait a second. I've seen The Last Kingdom. Haven't I? Yeah, I've seen The Last Kingdom. What was he in there? I forget. What? Rollo's blonde? Oh, no, that's not Rollo. Jeez. Gosh, it looked like Rollo. Anyways, never mind. So, I don't know. Where do we go with this? Now I'm just kind of bummed. Sad to hear about Hauer's passing. I know. It is I didn't know he worked on a biblical film. Huh. Here, let's go through this article. Since we're on Hauer anyways, let me shrink it down so you can actually see the article. Sorry, I don't have this all set up like I should. And transition. Bing! Alright. Oh, let me move it up too. There we go. When is this? Last year, exclusive Rutger Hauer on his new biblical film and most iconic role. He looks great. Live Zet talked to Blade Runner actor about Samson, out today, along with his chops in the movie. Ooh, there's a movie I gotta put on my to-see list. He has worked with such acclaimed directors as Ridley Scott, Robert Rodriguez, and Christopher Nolan. And at 74 years old, Hauer shows no signs at all of slowing down. The actor currently stars in Samson, which is out in theaters today. The film tells the biblical story of Samson, a legendary Israelite warrior who is given powers from God, but he strays from his path and is ultimately betrayed. He eventually gets an opportunity for revenge. Hauer stars as Samson's father, and he was interested in the project and its take on the classic story from the beginning. However, the movie fell through early on, and Hauer was ready to move on to other things. I sort of gave up on it. Hauer, who was born in the Netherlands and now works out of Los Angeles, said in an interview with Live Zet about Samson. When the picture came together again at the last minute, Hauer jumped onto a plane and threw himself into his character. I think it's a story that can be told many times because it has a lot of elements in it, he said of the film, which is just the latest cinematic telling of this biblical story. Previous versions include Cecil B. DeMille's directed picture and a 90s telefilm. This is sort of like the history of where we came from in a way. What makes this version different from other ones is Hauer is fast-paced. To Hauer is its fast-paced style. He, co-director Bruce McDonald, sort of shot it like an action film, I felt. Every scene is really compacted and short, so you can understand it. It has a drive, said Hauer. He added, you kind of run through it. The adventure aspect of the story is ramped up in this version, but Hauer said it never loses that good heart at the center of Samson's tale of redemption and loss. Samson isn't the only project viewers can catch Hauer in right now. He also stars in the latest installment of Sci-Fi's Channel Zero television series and has a variety of other projects in the works. He's never slowed down, I know, looking at his IMDb, it's crazy, and has always refused to be typecast or pigeonholed. It's why he starred in everything from 1982's Blade Runner to 2005's Batman Begins. Hauer revealed he does have a different approach now in terms of deciding the projects he's going to accept, a knowledge that comes from experience. I've learned to be more risky and more confident at the same time, he said. You have to try things before you really find out what it is. Try he has. Hauer's MDB page sports 170 credits. And this was last year, so there's probably 175 now. Even with all of that work and his continued acting, Hauer is still arguably best known for playing the android named Roy Batty from Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, a science fiction masterpiece that has gained popularity over the years. Just last year, Warner Brothers produced a sequel of the picture, which helped shine a spotlight once again on Hauer's inspired performance. His final monologue in the picture with the famous Tears in the Rain speech is studied to this day, amazingly. It was partly written by Hauer himself. Good stuff. He always played a really good bad guy. What's up, Dee Dee Williams? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to shout everybody out. Mike McCann, all the subscribers in the house: Kevin Ryan, Mike McCann, Jay Hamilton, Dee Dee. Captain Hiltz asks, Mike, if a human clone is ever created, would it be accepted into an afterlife if it committed to Christ? Sadly, I would argue it would have no soul and would not. You would be wrong, Captain Heltz, because identical twins are literally clones. So unless you're saying that only one of each twin can have a soul, or that they somehow share a soul, which I don't think that's... But even in that case, even that scenario, if somehow or another, in some weird way, twins, identical triplets, identical octuplets share a singular soul and are just experiencing life from different perspectives, then the same would apply to any clone that was made of any individual person. But I think the case is you each get your own. What's up, Caffey? Greetings, Jesus campaign. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, Mr. Hellstrom. Hello to you as well. All right. Yeah, Blind Fury, man. Blind Fury, I remember that. It was 1989 that came out, I believe, because I was working at a movie theater when it was out. What we do know, singular or plural, gingers have no soul. I date one. I can attest. I've dated one, too, and I think you're right. Was Eve a clone of Adam? I would say yes. Okay. Here's my thing about Adam and Eve. The word... Let's see. I'm going to actually do this. This isn't exact. Blue Letter Bible. Man, I'm using Brave now, so I have to type in everything. Continue. All right. Rib. Boom. Genesis 2:22. And the rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. The language is interesting. The rib, which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman. It doesn't say he made it from the rib. Not here, anyways. Not that I know of anywhere. This word is also translated side chambers or cells of a temple structure, rib, plank, board, cedar, fir, leaves of a door, side of an ark. So, literally, figuratively, door, hence a side, literally, figuratively, objective, architecturally, especially floor or ceiling, timber or plank. This is also the root word from which you get the word rung, as in rungs of a ladder. It's interesting to me. So this was sort of a bizarre revelation. I can't say this is orthodox or accurate or true. This is a theory that I have based on, I was watching Jurassic Park. And in the scene where they're talking about how do you know they can't reproduce? Oh, they're all female. All creatures are inherently female. You just have to add a chromosome to make them male. And I'm like, if something is inherent, you cannot add to it. If something is inherent, to change it, you must take away from it. If you had to remove a rung or a rib from the DNA molecule, the chromosome, if you have to remove a chromosome from the DNA strand to get from male to female, you can literally, I mean, it just became so literal and obvious to me that what God here, when he's saying, and the rib, which the Lord God had taken away from man. plucked that chromosome out of the man, and he made a woman and brought her unto the man. And I was like, that was neither what Jurassic Park said nor how genetics works. That is well, it's not exactly, but that is roughly what Jurassic Park said. I remember. I just watched the scene. I just watched the movie again like last month, and I just watched through that scene again. It is what they said. But if you remove one chromosome, yes, you have essentially a female clone of Adam. It's just a theory. A Bible theory. So, yeah, it's nothing I don't nail that to the wall and say, see, the Bible has DNA in it. But it's certainly, so in like the Quran, the Bible, the Quran says that mankind was created from a clot of blood. Well, probably because they saw a miscarriage, an early miscarriage, and they saw, oh, that is it looks like a clot of blood. Maybe this is what mankind comes from. But no. I think this doesn't contradict what we know. If you're using this very simple analogy. Captain Hill says, interesting, but if a human creates life via alternate means, wouldn't he essentially be acting as a false god? Wouldn't this be a sin? God may still accept the clone, I guess. That is so far into science fiction. You can't clone without human DNA. Human DNA is created by God. Or you can't clone if you're talking about humans, obviously. What's Terry's middle name? Hold on a second. I just got a message on Facebook. I don't have to deal with that right now, but I will. But I won't. No, I'm not going to do it. Where was I? You can clone someone, get gene manipulate it, and change its sex. That's true. Yo, Mike, what's up, Matt V? Clones are the same gender. That is true. Are you plotting my death? What? Oh, no, Dragon. This, it's because Rutger Hauer passed away. And then we started talking about cloning. And then that got into my theory on how God created Eve, not out of a rib, but God took a rib out of man and brought and made woman. Right? People always kind of assume that, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, made he a woman. And the rib which God had taken from man, made he a woman. I don't know. It's a theory. It's a theory. Literally playing God. Hey, you got a notification. Right on. Because I didn't. Yeah, it just says time to die. That's a hell of a title, bruh. Comic Book Bob, did you just get here? Rutger Hauer passed away. And that's his famous last line from Blade Runner. Hashtag Unicorn Army, DJ Peterson in his house. Females are not males with one less chromosome. Females have 2 of the same chromosome, and males have 2 different chromosomes. I know. I know, but literally it is one less chromosome. It's just one is replicated. I was talking about humans cloning humans as playing God. I know, and that's what I'm saying. Cloning identical twins are clones, or one of them's a clone. One of them's the original. One of them is the clone. Nobody knows which is which. But you can't say that one is soulless. Right? The interesting thing is if you're A conjoined twin. All you have is two different brains. Do you have two different souls? Or do you have one shared soul? One. It's confusing, isn't it? It's a cell division. Yeah, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're they have the same DNA. Weird. Isn't it weird they have the same DNA but different fingerprints? Very, very strange. Unrelated coma figured out what I was saying. Right on. Dragon says, oh wait. He's responding to someone. Do animals have souls? I'm going to see my pet rabbits and hamster in heaven. Knowing ahead of time would be nice. Yes, all of your different pets are fighting each other in heaven for your love as we speak. Do animals have souls? Are animals in heaven? There are animals described in heaven, so there's no reason to assume animals aren't in heaven. And if you absolutely positively cannot enjoy heaven without your animal, I'm sure God is chill about it. You'd be like, oh, you want your dog. Bam. Personally, let's see, how many of my cats, if I'm in heaven and all my cats are dead, how many of the 10 cats I've had would I want living in my mansion in heaven? Probably 4 or 5 of them. The rest of my cats can go to hell. Sorry, that's terrible. Mike, the heavenly cat man. Just imagining my hamsters and buns chilling in fields with nothing wanting to eat them. Yeah. All 10 because they can just live on the other side of it. Brutal, Mike, brutal. Yeah, what if they just... Well, what if... Oh my gosh, can you imagine? What happens with that new heavens and the new earth? Every animal that's ever been alive... Actually, I don't know. Do you think the new heaven, the new earth could handle every animal that's ever been alive? And then none of them die, but then they would continue to populate. Wait, would they continue to populate? Is there population in the new heaven, new earth, the new earth? I don't think there is. Well, I don't know. Gosh, I'm confused. I don't know. We don't have enough information about the new earth to know. I know that in heaven, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, so there's no population in heaven. Pretty sure there's enough room in heaven. But we don't remain in heaven, Coffee Stark. We are made as physical beings. Our perfection was corrupted, but we were made as physical beings to live on a physical earth. That is why the new earth is created after the millennium. Right? So we will live physical lives, and it will be, literally, it'll be heaven on earth. Should be nice. There will be many copies of Earth in several dimensions. Problem solved. Yeah, so we just keep all the cats I don't want over there. Do you believe in the glorified body? Yeah, the glorified body for the new Earth. I don't believe we have physical bodies in heaven, so we're sort of in heavenly bodies until the new earth and the final resurrection, and we are resurrected into glorified bodies. Hopefully glorified bodies that don't have high blood pressure. Ha ha ha, cat dimension. Cat earth. Noah's flood population problems equals unquestioned. Paradise population problems equals questioned. That's interesting. Reword that, Dragon. Will there be an evil version of Mike with a beard? Not in heaven. Not in heaven. Do you remember I Come in Peace? Such a cool film. I Come in Peace. Sounds familiar, but I don't recall it offhand. Not offhand. Patrick Swayze says, apparently a Christian mathematician did some equations that all things that ever lived will have to be resurrected at some point, but I can't remember who at all. That's interesting. You guys think that on the new Earth we're going to go back to garden rules, right? We'll all be vegetarians. But hopefully there will be like meat mushrooms. So you could have a mushroom that grows out of the ground and has the texture and flavor of meat, but you don't have to kill anything to eat it. That would be rad. I love mushrooms. And some of them do have a really meaty texture, but not quite. Garden rules? Oh, heck no. Bacon trees. Yeah, what if there are trees there with bark that just tastes like perfectly cooked bacon and you can just peel it right off the tree? Vegetarian pasta. Maybe that taco meat will be perfected by then. Withheld rather not say it. It says not interested today. See you folks. Take care of it. All right, Withheld. We'll see you later. Large portobellos grill up nicely. Indeed, they do. I do love a good large portobello. But there are mushrooms. Are they called maitakes? No, not maitake. What are maitake? There are these mushrooms. They grow really tall and slender, and then they have a flat top on them. And when you cut them, you can cook them. It has all those striations in the growing. The stem part of the mushroom is the part you don't eat you do eat the cap, but most of the meat is in the stem part, and the striations going through it really has a wonderful meat-like texture. I've actually cut those into pieces and grilled them up like scallops. No, not portobellos. Let me try to find. Is it? There it is. I don't know. The king trumpet mushroom or the king oyster mushroom. Well, those two look the same. All right. Here, let me share. These, right? So yeah, it is the stem of the mushroom just has this great texture, and I've cut them up and I've made a replacement for scallop because I can't eat shellfish, right? But oh my gosh, like scallop linguine was like, so I cooked these up one time, and the texture was like so much like a scallop. Don't do it, Mike. Life is still worth living. Mushroom examinations. I'm just trying to say that God will provide in the new earth when we are back in garden rules. Eden rules. No eating living creatures. God will provide. If he can provide king trumpet mushrooms, he can provide ribeye steak mushrooms. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It will be heaven after all. Well, heaven on earth. Meat is optimal food for sustenance. But it's not just about the pleasures of the faith. Meat is optimal food for sustenance. But we don't need it in our... Wait, Mike, didn't you just say we'd have physical bodies? Yes, Kevin Ryan. That is correct. Yes, but you can only eat gingers. They have no souls. Eating is not a desire of the flesh in the sense that it's not sin to eat. No. Eating is I mean, the Last Supper, right? The Last Supper. The breaking of bread, the communion of people together around the daily act of sharing food. It's a great communion. It is a great way to build community, family, maintain relationships. Eating is a blessing. Eating is absolutely a blessing. It's plants are alive. Not when they're in my stomach, Mr. Lizard. Killing animals and eating them isn't sin. God gave us dominion over the animals on day 6. It's true, but I think I could be wrong. I just think in the new earth, the new heavens, new earth, when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, that was perfection, right? It was perfect. Everything was perfect. Garden rules. You can do anything you want. Don't eat that fruit. Now, actually, since they could do anything they want, did that mean they could eat the animals? But no, because there was no death prior to the fall. So, if they couldn't eat, they'd. I mean, what are you gonna do? Just rip a leg off a pig, and the pig grows back the leg? That'd be a good solution. This is all speculation, guys. I'm sorry. You know who knows? Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer knows right now. What's the deal? What is the deal with the menu? The menu in the afterlife. I don't know about animals dying. They don't have souls. Right, but there was no death. Oh, you mean oh, that's a good point. But that is an interesting point. If there was no death, then the earth would overpopulate. Has it been mapped out that there are actually more people living today than there ever have been in the history of the world? So if you simply doubled the population today, that would be more people than have ever lived on Earth at the same time. Now, the number of fish in the sea, the number of cows on the Earth, I don't know. Because, I'm a young Earth creationist, so I don't think we have to deal with millions of years of life and death. I think we have to deal with, a few thousand. And then there was a whole restart at Noah. So I think probably you could fit everything that had ever drawn breath to live on the earth today as it is. Probably. If there's no poop, won't billions of bacteria then die? What if there's no bacteria, WK? What if there's no bacteria in the new earth, the new heavens and the new earth? Seance examinations. Bacteria might have other purposes. Oh, that's true. Bacteria creates cheese. We have to have bacteria. You can fit everyone on Earth on the continent of Australia. I'm sure you could fit everyone on Earth on a much smaller... I mean, shoulder to shoulder, you could probably fit them all in New York City. Well, maybe not New York City. But you wouldn't want to fit everybody on Earth shoulder to shoulder anywhere. God will make magic cheese. But he will not cut it. No booze either. Yeah, that's true. No booze. So bacteria doesn't get to go to heaven. That sounds unfair. Sorry. Bacteria have a plan. There have been roughly 100 billion humans that have lived since humans first arose. We can sustain around 40 billion humans. What are you basing that math on, Dragon? What are you basing that math on? Are you doing the 100,000 or 250,000 years of humanity math? Or are you doing the 6,000 years of humanity math? We do get food in heaven, though, right? Feast of Trumpets. Ah! Very good. Very good. Yeah, I don't know how it all works. I don't know. I mean, we only have the information that we have from the Bible. And if people want to put any weight on the near-death experience accounts, which I find terribly interesting, but I can't. I haven't been there, so I can neither confirm nor deny. Wait, there will be alcohol in heaven. In the book of Genesis, God parts the waters and makes the ferment. Wow. Population statistics says dragon, it's either 200,000 years or 2 million years. I forget which they calculated it with, modern humans or hominids in general. Well, dragon, I don't believe all that stuff. I believe God created mankind 6,000 years ago. And that's the math I'll buy. And you know what? Nobody was alive 600 years ago, much less 6,000 years ago, much less 200,000 years ago to prove either of our points. So either of our positions is based on what we choose to believe. Not on, well, except for the guy who told me is the guy who knows the end from the beginning and who has proven that he is existent outside of time. And so I'm going to go with him rather than some guy in a lab coat making theories. 6,000 years ago, the spaceship from Orion landed. From the belts of Orion. It doesn't really matter in the end. In the end, this is the end. My only friend, the end. You guys want to pop on to Christian Headlines, see what we may have missed today? The Mueller testimony was on today. What a freaking waste of time. What a waste of time that thing is. Where is my Kevin Ryan says, is it possible that God's year is different from our year? It is entirely possible. But God in the creation says in the evening and the morning or the first day. It sounds pretty specifically like one rotation of the earth. So I'm just gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with the clear basic reading of the Bible. If I'm wrong, honestly, it doesn't affect anybody's salvation. So where's the Jennifer Connelly emoji? Oh, Mayor McCheese, I need more subs to do a Jennifer Connelly emoji. And you know what I'll probably do? I'll just stick my wife's face on there and tell people it's Jennifer Connelly, and they'll be like, oh, she's so pretty. Because it's this big, nobody's going to be able to tell the difference. This also be epochs starting and ending. Actually, I think I will put my wife's face. I'm going to do my wife as an emoji. Did you see that Babylon Bee headline? I'm sharp as a tack, says Mueller before taking a phone call on a banana. Dragon says, it's possible that we are all just now popping into existence with our memories fully formed, but generally we think that's nonsense. It's true. Generally, we do think that's nonsense. But generally, I think that evolution is nonsense, and the timeline of the Earth that they give us is nonsense. I believe history over theory, and I believe that the flood is probably the most reliable event of antiquity. And and it's, what, 4,500 years ago. You have disparate accounts from hundreds of different, unrelated, incommunicado civilizations that share a global flood. Single family, single righteous man and his family. Usually it's 8 people surviving because an angry God is wiping out all of the people on earth. I mean, it's so ubiquitous as far as being a historical truth everywhere on this planet that I don't think there is any other historical account in the world that holds as much, terrible use of phrase, that holds as much water as Noah's flood did. So, what are you going to do with that, Mr. Evolution, right? If everything was wiped out 4,500 years ago and everything started over 4,500 years ago, first of all, it explains the fossil record. But that's getting into the whole, I don't want to get into the whole thing. Ubiquitous toast. Would you stop that? Wait might have been the better turn of phrase. Holds more water. 230 million years to make one complete orbit around the Milky Way. That could be a day, depending on perspective. But that's not an evening and a morning. And he's not talking about years. All right. Kevin Ryan says, I find science and scripture surprisingly compatible, and I kid Mike a lot. The real question was, did Adam and Eve have belly buttons? That is the real question, is it not? Is it not? Kentucky, Rutger Hauer just passed away. Did you hear it? That's what we started the show talking about. That's why this show is entitled Time to Die. And I probably will play that scene one more time before we back out. Well, maybe not. Let's see, ChristianHeadlines.com. Let's just kind of poke around on Christian Headlines real quick and see what's happening. Well, that's a nice story. Chick-fil-A worker prays over customer in viral pic. The spirit led him. Why does it look like he's a ghost? That's weird. Oh, because of the reflection in the glass. Immigration. Trump administration expands fast-track deportations. Gives ICE agents more authority. Excellent. Willow Creek plans reconciliation service to move on. Hybels decline invite. I have no idea what that's about. I have zero clue. House rejects boycott of Israel in a 398-17 vote. Surprise, surprise, surprise. AOC and Omar vote in the minority. Wow. I never saw that coming. Brother. Backgoat says, my faith also compels me to believe history over science. It's not just faith. It's common sense. It's common sense. You know? You've got people who saw something happen in a court of law. In a court of law, science can stand no ground against the testimony of eyewitnesses. Right? You can have DNA evidence even. And if you have like 2 or 3 eyewitness testimonies, it'll probably override the DNA evidence. And if heaven and earth will be perfect, will we have belly buttons in our new perfect bodies? And if we do, will God provide us with lint for them? At least you're making my son laugh. They're demons divine, etc. So when are we going to stop bankrolling Israel? Unrelated comma, those who bless Israel, God will bless. And those who curse Israel, God will curse. That is a promise in the scriptures. So I suggest we continue to bless Israel. All right? Just a suggestion. Heaven won't be heaven if it has chafing. All right, let's see. Oh, here's an interesting one. Islamic extremists take to using social media to persecute Christians. People who know the most about religion have fewer positive views of evangelical Christians, study finds. Ooh, that sounds terrible. Let's read that. A new study found that people who know the most about religion have a less positive view of evangelical Christians than those with less religious knowledge. According to the Pew Research Center study, the people with the highest scores on Pew Research Center's religious literacy quiz said they have the worst view of evangelicals than other religions. Higher scores overall, 32-point religious knowledge scale tends to be associated with warmer evaluations of most religious groups. The researchers wrote, one exception to this pattern is evangelical Christians, who are rated most warmly by those at the low end of the religious knowledge scale. Evangelicals were viewed on a warm, favorable to cool, unfavorable scale as low as 43 degrees. Meanwhile, Jews were rated 70 on the same scale. The study also found that evangelical Protestants know more than the average American about the Bible and Christianity. Really. Less said they knew more about other religious traditions around the world. It is crucial that evangelicals, both young and old, have accurate understandings of other religions insofar as Christians want to be fairly represented, so they need to do the same for others, said Nijay Gupta, a Portland seminary professor who has written about New Testament perspectives on interfaith relations. With social media and other online communication, the world is getting smaller, and caricatures of any religion are easily deconstructed and dismissed. The Pew Research Center's religious literacy quiz asked 32 questions about religious beliefs, practices, the Old and New Testament, and religious demographics. Americans scored on average of 14.2 questions right. Evangelicals scored an average of 15.5 correct. Among questions about non-Christian faiths and world religions, evangelicals scored an average of 4 correct out of 13. Americans scored an average of 4.3 correct of the 13 questions. Let's see the quiz. Religious knowledge quiz. Where's the questions? Take this short quiz. Study supplemental view. When you finish the quiz. Okay, do I have to click next? Okay, which Bible figure is most closely associated with leading the Exodus from Egypt? Moses. Which of the following is not one of the 10 commandments? Do not commit adultery. Do keep the Sabbath holy. Do not steal. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Next. In the Muslim tradition, believers have a religious obligation to make a pilgrimage to Islam's holiest city at least once during their lifetime. If they are able to, which city is that? Mecca. Which Bible figure is most closely associated with willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to God? Abraham. Which of the following best describes Catholic teaching about the bread and wine used for communion? The bread and wine actually become the body and blood of Jesus. According to Catholic tradition, what is purgatory? An offering that Catholics make, a purification process during life, such as where the souls of the there you go. Where the souls of those who have died undergo purification before they enter heaven. Which religious tradition is most closely associated with yoga? Bing. Which religious tradition is most closely associated with Kabbalah? Judaism. Which of the following is one of the Buddhism's 4 noble truths? The truth that every living being has an immortal soul. The truth that the Buddha was perfect and free from sin. The truth of monotheism. The truth of... In which religious tradition are men generally required to wear a turban like the one pictured below? Those are Sikhs. On which day of the week does the Jewish Sabbath begin? Friday. Which of the following best describes the Christian doctrine of the Trinity? There are three patriarchs. There is one God in three persons. According to the Bible, where did Jesus live during much of his childhood and young adulthood? Nazareth. Born in Bethlehem, grew up in Nazareth. Which of these religious groups traditionally teaches that salvation comes through faith alone? Ooh. Bing. What is Ramadan? Islamic holy month. Submit. Oh, which one did I get wrong? From large collection, what American compare national representatives? Which one did I get wrong?
Did it not say?
Oh, here we go. The truth of monotheism. What? That's a lie. Buddhism is a polytheistic religion. Oh my gosh. I've studied this. That's wrong. Anyways. Aloha, Edwin Boyette. The quiz is wrong. Sorry, guys. Buddhism is derived from Hinduism. That it is a, and there are people who say it is a god. My mom's a Buddhist, for Pete's sake. The truth of monotheism. Lies! You are lies. So I'm going to say I got 15 out of 15 correct because the quiz is wrong. And as we all know, I'm always right. There are no gods in Buddhism. Right, so there would be no monotheism. Right? Am I right? Or am I right? But it is a derivation of Hinduism. Siddhartha Buddha was a Hindu and then went off to become a Buddhist, or to create Buddhism. Mike's a kid who argues with the teacher when the exam comes back. That is me. Let me double check the time. Oh my gosh, we are over time. That quiz took us right over the time. Anywho, anyhow, anyway, anyway, I am going to do it again. Let's see if I can make this look good. I'm going to take us out. I'm going to take us out, out, out. Christian headlines, pop, pop, pop. Oh. I'm going to take us out with this, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to thank you all for being here. Hey, be good to everybody you meet today. Remember, Rutger Hauer, gone too early. Never got the respect he should have in Hollywood, I think. But I hope he's doing all right in the afterlife. Rest in peace, Rutger Hauer.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears.